welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, you are greatly welcomed here as well. I quit my job. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me, but I quit my job. Just like I quit the others in the past. And when I get another one, I know I'm probably going to quit it as well. I have came to the conclusion that Cammy don't like to work. Cammy don't want to work. Nobody's 9 to 5. But society says, well, in this day and age, if you're not rich, even if you have a husband, boyfriend, sugar daddy, whatever you have on the side, you have to still work in order to pay your bills. I get that. I understand that. I know that. But for some odd reason, Cammy can't do it alone. And if it's a stressful job, Cammy ain't gonna do it. Cammy gonna say, bye, I'm done. Now, before anybody come on here and try to judge my situation, because I know there's people out there like me that just feel like, working is just not for them. It's not for them. Maybe having your own business or something like that, yeah. But working for other people is just not, it's no. No, for one, I have social anxiety. That's the first thing. I have anxiety, I have depression, I have social anxiety. It ain't no telling what else I got that ain't been diagnosed. But I can tell you this much. Camille can't do it. Camille can't do it. It depends on what type of job it is, how long I stay there. The longest I ever stayed is at another nursing home I was working at. I stayed there for like 2 years. Now, this particular job, I'm not going to even sit here and lie, y'all, because I'm still in a funk. I'm still depressed. I'm still down. I'm still beating myself up for it because this was a good paying job. I worked for a correctional facility. I was a kitchen officer. But I can tell you this. It's a lot of things that they did not explain in the interview that happened in that kitchen. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm thinking I'm sitting here watching detainees, making sure they good. I'm over here slinging fucking, cooking the food and slanging shit in the oven. And this wasn't for just no small, correctional facilities. This facility was big. And best to believe, we was in there slanging, cooking, burning up. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Kitchen work never was for me. But due to the fact that I'm like, okay, I'm filling out this application. I'm going to try for the prison. I'm like, let me just stick to, being a kitchen officer. Stick to that. Stick to something small. Because, the detainees they probably bringing in here, they got some type of fucking sense for you to allow them to be able to come into that. You got your ones you gonna pick. You ain't gonna pick anybody to work in the kitchen. But how I'm looking at it, let me start there and just going straight to the cells and shit and stuff like that. I didn't want to be a detainee officer. I just wanted to work in the kitchen. But I'm in there slinging food. Sometimes detainees don't want to come in. You got to do the work. It was a lot going on, and I see why that place is, what do they call it? It's just a revolving door. People come, people go. People come, people go. That's why the class kept going into rotation every 2 weeks, because nobody never fucking stayed there. That job was fucking, you have to have that mental, you got to have your mental got to be clear. Ain't no anxiety, ain't no depression, ain't none of that. No social, forget all that. And I was the type, can I really tell a detainee what to do? Can I really do that? I thought I could. I thought I could for the money that I was making. I thought that I could do that. I really thought that I could handle it, I'm making good money. I'm about to get us up out this hole, get us out of this rut that we've been in. And it's like, I couldn't do that. And I honestly feel like a failure. I feel like a complete failure for not sticking it out for my family, not helping out my husband, because in this day and age, you need 2 incomes to live. And it's like, I can't even fucking do that. Like, this little disability check that I'm going to get back, it ain't shit. It helps out, don't get me wrong, but that's all of it. And in this day and age, that's all of it. Now, I understand that this check that I'm getting back will not cover everything. It won't. I'll figure it out. I always do. And a lot of people will look at it like, your husband is out there working his ass off, but you can't keep a good paying job. When I tell you, I already feel guilty about that. I feel horrible about that. You know, this job was, you know, I was making a decent amount. Let me just tell y'all that. I wasn't making $10 no more. Let me tell you that. On top of that, you get insurance checks every month. That can be to $400 to $1,000 extra a month. Yeah, it feel like I fucked up. It really do. It feels like I really messed up something that could have been good for us. But the thing is, only a person that's worked in that type of field, in that area, will understand and know where I'm coming from. People who deal with the mental illnesses that I deal with will understand exactly where I'm coming from. I'm constantly thinking about what I can do for this family. How can I make things better? I'm always constantly thinking about how I'm a failure, how I'm 41 years old and still don't have my shit in order. I'm comparing myself to other people, how well they're doing, how they're, they have their mortgage now, how, they're going on these lavish trips and this, that, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. I'm constantly thinking about that. I'm always thinking about that. And I figure, this job wasn't going to get me to go on lavish trips, but I could have saved money. I was able to help pay bills and still have money left over. I fucked that up because of my mental illness. I fucked that up because of what I couldn't deal with. And I'm just going to be honest. I knew I wasn't happy with the situation that I was in. Now, I did, apply for another position because we were working graveyard. My daughter and I were working graveyard. And she was going to go back to her CNA work. That's what she was going back to. She didn't like it. She didn't like it. And I didn't like it as well. We both already had it made up in our minds. She was going to go back to her CNA work. I was going to stay at the facility because I figured I'm grown. My daughter, she's 19. She's still living in my house. I'm grown. I got to make the bread. I have to meet my husband halfway. So I'm like, I'm going to keep this job because this is good money. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to a different department. I'm not staying in the kitchen. Oh, no. Them kitchen workers, baby, you ain't leaving the kitchen. I'm just being honest with you. These workers was telling me, you can go and try to apply for another position, but the ward might not let you go because we don't got nobody. He's not going to let you go. You're stuck here. You will have to quit. And you will have to reapply. That's probably what you got to do in order to get out the kitchen. So I'm thinking in my head, nah, I ain't gonna listen to nobody because, I'm not gonna listen to what they say because they could just be telling me that shit because, they don't want to do work all them shifts and shit, Let me figure that out on my own. I fill out, and, I talk to the person in laundry, the supervisor in laundry or whatnot, about the situation that I didn't want to work in the kitchen. He told me to go and fill out a form and whatnot with HR. And I did everything. I went through everything, so I can, go and be a officer in laundry. He was telling me, you come up in here, you just wash the detainees, do that thing in laundry. That's what they got to do. That's what they in here to do. And you work from 8 to 4 in the daytime. 8 to 4, perfect. My husband, he works almost them same hours. Everything is perfect. Everything is aligned perfect. Even though I probably had to come in there a little bit earlier or whatnot because I don't drive, that's fine. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to be up in there early, waiting in the break room or whatever till my shift start. It is what it is. I'm going to make this bread. Time keep rolling around. Nobody giving me answers and shit. Still working in the kitchen. We go there or whatnot, and it's like, And this was one of them bad nights. You know, my depression was at a low. My daughter didn't want to go back, and that's all she had to say. She was like, Mama, if you want to go in there, I'll drop you off, you know. Shit, I'm not feeling it. And I looked at it, and we looked at that building. And I contemplated for 5 fucking minutes, and I ended up, like, just turn the car around. Let's go. Ever since then, my depression been at a low. I'm not going to even sit here and lie to y'all. You know, trying to do what society tells you to do, and you know, and not what they tell you to do. Nobody's really telling us what to do, but it's how society looks at people that don't work. This bitch ain't working. The fuck? You ain't out there getting your own money? You relying on your husband? He need help. He gonna end up leaving you. This, that, the third, the fourth. You just got all this shit going in your fucking brain, and it's like, damn, I can't. I tried. When I tell y'all I've tried with different jobs, I've tried. Work is not for me. So for anybody who thought that they were always alone in this, just know that you're not alone. There are people out here just like you who don't want to work a 7 to 3, who don't want to work a 3 to 11, who don't want to work a 11 to 7, who don't want to do none of that. No first, no second, no third shift. They've tried. They've been to several different jobs, and they realize it's just not for them. And I'm one of those people. And yes, I'm one of those people who's probably judged. But I can't do it. I've tried. Even with jobs that were kind of meaningful to me, I cannot do it. It's a constant battle. The longest I ever stayed at a job was 2 years flat. I don't even think it was almost 2 years. I'm going to be dealing with this battle of depression for a little while because, like I said, I feel like I have failed the family. Sometimes it feels like, will my life get any better than just this? But I know life has a lot of chapters. My life has a lot of chapters, and I know eventually things will get better. You have to every story, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's an end. And sometimes the middle can be crazy. So I'm just going to take that L. And I'm going to move on. As of now, I am a stay-at-home mom, but I am going to be working on my own candle line. I'm going to be trying to move towards doing that and creating more content because I really have that time to do it, and I can't feel sorry for myself. Yeah, that's my stomach. That means I'm hungry, so I need to go and have me something to eat. But I'll get off of here, y'all. Y'all make sure to like this video, comment if you liked, subscribe if you're new, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one.